Alright, today's project is this old boat. It's a 1956 Crosby Capri. It's a really cool old boat, and it's not been off the water too long. In fact, it had a sticker for last year on it, so it shouldn't be too hard to get on the water. Now, it's a pretty original boat. It's got the original Evinrude 40 horsepower. I think it's a Lark engine on it. So this really shouldn't be too bad to get it going again, but will it float? That's the question. Alright, let's get into this one and see what it takes. I'm your old friend B. Welcome back to Honda Boy Floyd. Alright, so we got the little boat. We got her home. Time to clean her up. And I don't know why I decided to not start the camera before I removed the gas tank and the battery that sat right underneath the hornet's nest that's apparently in here somewhere. One of the little things jumped out and stung me right on the finger. Yeah, what a way to start. But we got her out here, we got the power washer, and it's time to start cleaning her up, which I don't think is going to be a big job. Got the stuff in the bottom, no big deal. I was going to clean all this out by hand, but I'm going to have to blast the bees out. So, all right, here we go. It's cleaning up pretty good from what it was, just with the power washing, so that's pretty cool. So how satisfying is that, huh? A lot of this I'm gonna have to get in here with some soap though, and I'm gonna have to drain all the water out of the bottom. Yikes. I'm gonna fill this boat up before I'm done. New toys. Okay, so here it is. After a quick preliminary cleaning, just getting all the gunk out of it, and speaking of gunk, clean your lens, dude. So after preliminary cleaning, getting all the gunk out of the bottom and just scrubbing some of the stuff off of it, it's looking pretty good. Sprayed it out pretty good with the power washer, scrubbed it down with just some dish soap and a very light little scrubby, and cleaned all the gunk out of back there. And I think she cleaned up pretty good. So it's looking good. So we got into working on the boat. The battery's dead, which is not a big deal, but we got under the hood of the motor, and the fuel is old and nasty, number one. Number two, it started spilling out of the intake. So what that leads me to believe is that the floats in the carburetor are stuck, and it's just allowing gas to pour into the float bowl and, you know, flood out of the intake. So, because also, you know, when you flip the engine forward, I'm sure if there's too much fuel in the float bowls, it'll all spill forward and out of the intake. So So we got to pop that carburetor off of there, see what's happening with those floats, probably clean it out with some starting fluid, carb cleaner, and see where we're at there. All right. Pull this cover off of here. Yeah, it smells like old gas in here. And so you can see here's the intake where the fuel was spilling out. Into here it was also dripping down into this pan. It's part of the actual boat. The poop deck perhaps. Well, it's also spilling into here, and then my dad said that he saw a spark from this wire over here. So we gotta have a look at these wires and connectors down inside of there and see what's happening with those, because if this is filling with fuel, we definitely don't want to spark. All right, first things first, let's get this carburetor off of here. It looks like it's just too nuts to get the carb off, but there's this linkage and then this linkage. There's some stuff to look at. I don't know if you heard that, but that was my shin on the light there. So let's start looking at these linkages. This looks like it's all attached to the carb. This is what is called, they call auto choke, and that is attached to the side of the carb. So I don't think we'll have to take any of that apart. This looks like it's leaked. Oh, it's been dripped on, I think. Okay, so that's cool. All right. So we got this tiny little cotter pin. A little tiny cotter pin. There. Pops out of there. Very cool. All right. So that's off there. Doesn't appear to be any more linkage, but there is a lot of hoses. All right, we got to remember that we are working on 70-year-old technology, and I don't know exactly what I'm doing on this motor, but it's not too terribly difficult. I'm just going to have to be careful and remember where all the hoses and lines go, and find some sort of catch bucket or something, because there's going to be some fuel spillage. I'm going to use a little ingenuity and make a catch pan out of this to try to slide underneath the carburetor so that we don't spill gas all over the world. Okay, for our purposes, I think that'll work. I hope it just drains out of that screw. Coming out anywhere. Yeah, okay. That is some nasty smelling fuel. interesting. Different. This could go wrong quickly. Okay, not too bad. Caught most of it. Fingers break. I think that's all attached. Oh shit, how the that? Gotta take off the starter? No, man, you would have been smarter than that, wouldn't you? Not in any manner. Alright, so apparently I got to remove the starter to remove the carburetor. So that's always grand fun. So it looks like what I'm working with is the starter is connected via this whole plate here. So maybe it'll come off after these. Remember, we're learning as we go here. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Got another one all the way in there. And this is ridiculous. It's getting worse by the minute. Alright, so now they got one more bolt in here that's a mile in there. Almost impossible to get to. And I think that's the last one for the starter. Yep, I feel it wiggling. And that is going to be fun to get back in there. All right, look at that. We're making headway. So now we can get to that guy and actually get this carb off of here. First off though, put our drip pan back under here and start removing some of these other hoses. Okay. Ooh. That hose just split. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. Okay. This one. Okay, that's extra long. And we'll take this off up here. Alright, obviously it's not a motorcycle carburetor, so it's a little different from what I'm used to. It does look like somebody has been in and cleaned this pretty well. Not too terribly long ago. So, that's good. It's just, man, this is funky. So I'm just going to hit this whole thing real quick. Okay. Alright. Look at this guy. I was excited when we launched the boat and I forgot to film it, but as soon as I turned the key, it fired right up. Good stuff. I should have had it rolling. Fired right up though. that was a lot of fun. I love working on this old stuff. Thanks for stopping by and checking this out. Consider giving us a like and subscribe, and come back next time to see what we get into. Till then, I'm your old friend B. This has been Honda Boy Floyd.